Now, this guy on the screen, his name is Randy Shelton. He's the former Los Angeles Clippers strength and conditioning coach. That's who he is, right? He came from San Diego State, which is where him and Kawhi Leonard rebuild their rapport. They built their rapport when Kawhi was playing in San Diego State, right? 2017, according to Randy Shelton, 2017, people from the LA Clippers organization reached out to him and inquiring about Kawhi Leonard health. This is what he's saying. That they started reaching out to him in 2017, inquiring about Kawhi Leonard and his health, right? At that time, Kawhi was playing with San Antonio Spurs. Kawhi got traded from the Spurs in 2018, but he only had 1 year left on that contract. So he played the 2018, won the championship in 2019. He won that championship in 2019, became a free agent. Now, between 2017 and 2019, Randy Shelton said he was in constant contact with the Clippers organization to the point that in 2019, the Clippers told him that if he helped them lower Kawhi to the Clippers, he would have a future with the organization. Now, the legend told him that in the beginning of 2019. When free agency kicked off, he's supposed to have allegedly helped influence Kawhi to come to the Clippers, and they gave him a job. Now, the problem was when he got the job, he's stating that his role was diminished in terms of he wasn't being invited to certain meetings when they was talking about Kawhi health, and he was saying that he didn't even have access to his medical records. 2021, Kawhi Leonard, he got hurt in the playoffs, if you remember that, right? He sat out 2021 and the whole 2022 season, right? Shelton is saying he suggested that Kawhi needed to rest at least 700 something days. So we're talking about like 2 years. Clippers was not having none of that. Weren't having none of that. Clippers is like, are you out your mind? Not sitting here letting this man sit out for 2 years. No, that's not happening. So what they determined, the best course of action was allow Kawhi to come back and allow him to come back and just play limited minutes, what they call it, low management, just low management. They allowed him to come back to play low management. Now, 2000, I want to say in 2022, this guy Shelton, he claimed he wrote a complaint to Lawrence Frank. Lawrence Frank is the president of basketball operations over there in the Clippers. He said he wrote a letter to Lawrence Frank complaining about his diminished role and how the team managed Leonard's health. He said he noted that the mishandling of Kawhi Leonard injury and the return to play protocol has been mind-boggling, and that the disregard of his recovery process is unacceptable. Shelton went on to say that the Clippers have placed more emphasis on Leonard's productivity than his recovery. So now he's writing a letter, sending it to the president of basketball operation, who got back and said that he's going to investigate, what's going on with the situation, yada yada yada, and he got fired. So basically, to sum it all up, this guy saying that he's fired for voicing a concern on how the Clippers was handling Kawhi Leonard. He put a lawsuit in. He's trying to sue the Clippers. He's trying to sue the president of basketball operation, Lawrence Frank. This is what he's trying to do. He's either accusing them or owing him money and saying that they owe him money for things that they were supposed to compensate him for, which they didn't do. This is what he's alleging. Now, the Clippers, their version of it is that his allegations of mishandling of Kawhi Leonard, the force, they're saying they don't owe no money. They not only say they don't owe money, saying that they paid him all the money that they owed him. Whatever the contract said, they say they gave him all that money. This is what the Clippers are saying. Now, we got to see where this lawsuit go at, right? That's the first thing first. We got to see where the lawsuit going. His lawyers have told NBA that they're ready to cooperate fully. Okay. Here's my spin on things. First thing first, let's rewind what I initially said. I initially told you guys that the Clippers organization contacted Kawhi Leonard's strength and conditioning coach from his college back in 2017, asking him about his medical history, asking him medical questions. What I wonder, right? When I first read that article, the first thing I wanted to know was, if you're Kawhi Leonard's friend, did you contact Kawhi and tell him that the Clippers were inquiring about him? That is the first question I wanted to know. Because reading the article, it stated in the article, and even the lawsuit, I even read the lawsuit. In a lawsuit, it said that he's claiming that the Clippers contacted him 15 times. He spoke to them 15 times over the phone, and he attended 7 meetings. And they emphasized that these stuff had to be handled with discretion. I'm trying to figure out, did you contact Kawhi and notify him that the Clippers were inquiring about his personal business? That is the first question that I want to know. Then the second thing that I want to say is, I can't consider you a real friend if you're trying to persuade me to do something simply because it benefits you. That's not friendship right there, ladies and gentlemen. You're trying to persuade me to do something for you. You're trying to persuade me to do something. Sign with a team basically because it benefits you. You guys consider that friendship? I consider that low down. That's what I consider. I consider that low down. I don't trust this guy. This guy, Randy Shelton, I don't trust him. You are coming across as your Kawhi friend, and you talk about, how you trained him in college, how you trained him to help prepare him for the NBA after he left college. But then you're discussing my medical history with an NBA organization? Do you guys think that Kawhi gave him consent to do that? I don't think so. I call that common. You was doing some underhanded stuff, and you helped get the guy to the Clippers, right? This is what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. You helped get him to the Clippers. Once Kawhi got to the Clippers and you found out that the Clippers was doing some underhanded stuff, but we're going to get to that in a second. Once you realized that they was doing some underhanded stuff, you didn't want to play ball no more. And here's the problem with that. When you went and you started having these secret meetings, secret phone calls, you was basically telling the organization that you with it. You down to party. But now, when the Clippers starts to act like an organization who's never won nothing and trying to win something, that's when you jumped overboard, huh? That's when you decided to turn around and start saying, hey man, you're mishandling Kawhi in terms of his treatment and stuff like that. You started to turn around at that point, which I personally think that you were just trying to salvage the relationship that you had with him. That's all that was. Like I said, I personally have a problem with the mere fact that you worked in cahoots with the organization to bring this man there. It took you 2 years. Worked with him for 2 years to bring this man to LA. You talked about this man's personal information for 2 years. And when it blows up in your face, now you want to put a lawsuit in. I have a problem with that. Now let's get to the Lakers. Let's get to the Clippers, excuse me. The president of basketball operations over there is Lawrence Frank. Lawrence Frank is a snake. And I call the man a snake because he coached Jason Kidd. He was assistant coach under Byron Scott. Became head coach after they fired Byron Scott. Coached Jason Kidd. But then when Jason Kidd got his first coaching job with the Nets, he knew he didn't have any experience as a coach. What's the first thing he did? He called Lawrence Frank. Told Lawrence Frank to come be one of my assistants. Assuming that he was calling somebody that he can trust. However, Lawrence Frank had ultimately, they didn't fire him, but they kind of like basically told the dude, go home and don't come back. We're going to pay you, because he was being accused of doing some undermining Jason Kidd. They didn't want to get into details of exactly what he was doing, but he was accused of undermining Jason Kidd, the man that gave him a job. So the Nets, what they did was they paid him for the rest of the season, so no comeback. And that's pretty much how his career ended. At that point, they was in Brooklyn. He went here, he was assistant coach here, there, wherever. He wound up getting over to the Clippers. Started off as assistant coach for Doc Rivers. Moved him up somehow mysteriously to the vice president, then ultimately the president. So my thing is, after you did the shice bucket stuff to Jason Kidd, we pretty much know can't trust you. So do I believe this guy Randy Shelton when he said that the organization contacted him 2 years prior to Kawhi coming over there, asking him for medical records and telling him to help bring Kawhi to the Clippers and he would have a bright future there? Of course I believe that. It's just too much. It's too big of a lie. You know how some things is a lie, but then some things is just too big of a lie to not believe it? It's just too big of a lie. He's only suing because he feels slighted at this point. That's the reason why Randy, what's his name? Randy Shelton is suing, because at this point he feels slighted. In his mind, he's saying, Kawhi would have never came to the Clippers if it wasn't for me. That's how he feel. And I'm not even here no more. You fired me. And they say you owe me money. Clippers say, we owe you no money, bro. We don't owe you no money. We don't owe you no money. We gave you everything we owe you. You're trying to extort us. This is the Clippers are saying. He's trying to extort us. I don't believe he's trying to extort them. But here's the moral. Here is the moral of this story. How do Kawhi go back and play for the Clippers again? That's the moral of this. That is the $1 million question, and that's the moral of the story. The man have already disclosed that they mishandled his treatment. In other words, the man was stating that they care more about him being on the court and his production than his health. Hey, it's a business. This is how these companies operate. With a player, he going to at least feel like you care. This is the same thing that Kawhi was beefing about in San Antonio. He felt like, yo, you're telling me to play, and I'm not ready to play. And you're trying to force me to play. This is the same type of situation. Okay, Kawhi, can you really trust that medical staff? When you had somebody on the medical staff that you personally trusted, and they kept him away from all the records and stuff? I just don't see Kawhi going back. Because it's one thing to assume somebody don't have your best interest at hand, but it's a totally different thing to know that for a fact. And that's for homeboy Randy Shelton. If I was you, Kawhi, after seeing firsthand that man is about Randy Shelton, I would cut that relationship off also. I would have nothing to do with that dude. That is the best thing that Kawhi Leonard can do is cut ties with Randy Shelton, cut ties with the Clippers. And I get it. Yeah, he's still in the contract. All you got to do is do what every other NBA player do. Have your agent call the front office and say Kawhi wants to be traded.